2
Okay, well, good morning.
Good morning.
St. Paul's. Thank you for being at the attending the meeting just before first Independence Day. There is lots of virtually a very exciting meeting. First of all, we do have a quorum, which is great, so we can go ahead with the meeting. Thank you. First item on two is approval of the minutes, the May 29th, 2025 minutes. Is there a motion to?
I move the approval, Mr. Chair.
Or is there a second?
I second.
Okay, discussions at all? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Very, it's been approved. Okay, we'll go right to discussion items, marking up, hey, Doug, you're up.
Okay. I might be able to read it off there better. Well, you're gonna. So we got a few things to talk about today, some new things, which is good. Late last night, I just got this. If you want to click that link on there, Sharon, I would appreciate it. Here's a magazine for Joey.
Yeah.
That, you recognize that picture
Looks
before, but, yeah, that's, go to page 8, I believe. So 8, 9, and 10 is the stories. They will be online. He just got it finished last night, so, it will be up online, he said this morning, so y'all can check it out and go from there. It's a really good story, did a good job. And so then he'll hit this with social media as well. And excited about this. Go up, if you don't mind going back, Sharon, to the cover.
No.
Appreciate it, thanks. So we're gonna use this right here as an ad type thing for what we send out, okay? That we'll put it on our database per se, and then we'll use this. It's very nice in terms of what we can do and gets the word out extremely well. You know, there's nothing else on there. There's not, any other mention about anything. So excited the way that turned out, and we'll go from there. But that's something, and we will get everybody a printed copy. I'll probably spray them next month when I come, so we can use this. I don't know how many copies he'll get, but if we want to put some outside or use that to give away to people, we can do that. So
What's our distribution?
yeah, it depends on what it is. The magazine, it's about 80 with print and online. So yeah, it's quite a bit. He's a quarterly, so this is cheaper to be, how it works financially, but quarterly, he can do more, send out more, and he will continue to do that type stuff. It will go on his webpage, like I said. So as the summer issue of 2025, so it'll be there forever. So he can do a lot more, and then people like myself have partnerships with him that we help promote it as well to a lot of databases.
Can we take that link and put it on our Facebook page?
Absolutely.
And also on our website?
Yes, sir.
I'll share.
You help with do that, John?
Yeah.
See that. Okay, good.
Yeah, so it's, this is that type of stuff that's really big, especially when you get a cover, that we'll be able to use for different things.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And I mean, anybody, they can't look at that cover and say, well, I wanna go there. Wherever that is, I wanna go there.
Yeah.
So then it's up to us to, that's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
And worked out really good with our little Georgia's highest and coolest city there, so. Especially these days.
It's just a message you like too.
I haven't seen that one.
So now y'all haven't been above 75 degrees up here, right? You've been on your trip. I don't hear about your trip was.
Oh.
I bet.
It might have got a little above 75.
Now, maybe just a little up now and then. Anyway, so excited about that. and Joey and I will continue to figure out how we promote it. Hey, I'm sorry, can you go back to that page 10? I meant to stop you, but I had some more stuff in my mind. So Joey and I talked about, they're in the green, okay, there, if you can read that. That talks about the real estate, what you can do, how you can do it, and you can do QR code. So that's something we're gonna continue to put in his magazine.
What does it say? I can't read it. Can you-
I can't read it
Can you
either.
hold that up? The green portion.
No, I can't make it bigger.
Okay.
No. Anyway, there you
Oh, there we
go.
go. Very good. Thank you.
So kind
Ooh.
of, so then you got, so there you go, all the information on the QR code. So that's a lot, you know, with the view. So, there you go.
Wow.
So those are type things that we're gonna put in his magazine based on our agreement. And we said that we're gonna promote him and he's gonna promote us. And, so, and then we'll be able to use this now that we've kind of launched it a little bit, okay? That we'll just, like I told you, this is just an ongoing program. This is not something we're gonna do a lot, but it's just gonna be something that, hey, we'll tell people about, Sky Valley from all their people down south. And then hopefully we're gonna do the same and let people, if they want any kind of beach property or golf
Right,
property,
right.
they can do that. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna continue to do, probably in different formats, with the real estate. So excited about that. So thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you going back. Okay, groups. So we've been talking about a lot of stuff with timeshares and things like that. So we'll get to that in just a second, but since we're getting to that point, we can't wait till they're ready and then all of a sudden they'll start marketing. So talked to a couple of groups over the last month. There's a charity group, in the southeast called the Polywogs. Don't ask me why. A friend of mine, contacted me, saw the information about Sky Valley. Whatever we did, I'm not really sure what he saw anyway, but he works, or he has friends in a groups that's all over the southeast. A lot of them live in Florida. A lot of them have second homes up here in this area. And, they do stuff and they go places all over. So he's like, you know, can we get together and talk about trips? And I'm like, absolutely. So, he's gonna be up here, there in the July, part of August. So depending on what his time frame is, we'll probably come up here and meet with him and see what we can work out, for 2026. Okay, this is not around the corner. This is stuff that, you know, they've already planned. So we've got to get on their schedules. So that kind of repeats what that second paragraph there. So, but I think this group, because these are guys that have money, okay, and not just men, but women as well. So I think this would be a great group to keep involved, do an event. I don't know what they do with their money with charity, but they give money to charity, and so it's kind of a cool thing to do. So I'm learning more about it, so it just kind of walked into it. YMCA in Northeast Georgia, I used to go to the YMCA in Winder, so they're very familiar with who I am and what I've done over the years. And they have a new location close by where I live in Monroe. And then they have one up here in Hartville. So they have three, and they work with certainly one in Athens and a few in Atlanta, things like that. So the sports director called me and says, hey, we would love to put some groups together. And, you know, same type of situation. And, you know, during the year, and put it on a schedule and just have people sign up, and here you go. And this is what we're going to be doing. So could invite him up here, depending, I'm gonna meet with him. I told him let's talk after the 4th and, see what we can come up with. It's on a program that just would probably be out there, for them to promote, okay, which is gonna be really nice. And so excited about that. So those are type things that certainly I'm looking at many other things, but those are two that's just kind of come to fruition real quick. So we want to get going on marketing, advertising, program for timeshares, as soon as we can. So before we get to that, a little bit more there, radio shows, I have a couple of radio shows. Some of you know, we've done these in the past. And it's, you know, I have to get on their schedule to make sure we can do this, but would like to push the community, not just golf. So if we can come up with somebody who would be a good spokesperson, I don't care. I mean, I think Ryan, I think you did it before. I think we had the other lady, I forgot her name. She did it a couple of times.
Jamie Dara.
Yes, thank you.
She was great.
Yeah, so those things really hit, and then we, you know, then they send us the, clip of the show, okay, so you can hear it, actually. You don't have to be in Alabama or Florida or wherever, so you'll be able to see it. Another thing that we can market, so these type things, we're not just gonna, well, we hope somebody hears, well, we got it, now we can use it to market, things like that, so we can talk about it today, there's no hurry, just, you know, I got some of these people or something, yeah, hey, we'd love to have you on this summer. And so, and it's not about the trail, it's about Scout Valley, so, which is part of the trail, anyway. But there we go.
So you have a date, you have a.
No, it's just like, they're gonna be open with you, we just kind of wanted to get to the summer. So we, you know, they can have more people that are listening, they feel like in the summertime and going from there, so. Y'all can talk about it however you want to do it, it's simple, and then I will do all the information and then get it to whoever say, hey, you know, call in at this time, or they're gonna call you, or whatever the situation may be. You ready to do
You want me to do it?
it? I don't care what it is. You'd be good, you're a world traveler, so you probably tell, hey, I can go to Alaska, but ain't nothing, nobody, no place like home. There you go.
That's all true.
Number 4 there, so I know we're getting closer, as timeshares is gonna be getting some more stuff, coming up for us to look at. But we don't need to sit around and wait, like I said. So we need to start working on a stay and play type advertising program. We don't have to put in, what's the right word for that? Pricing, thank you. We can always stick that in at any time. But we just need to come up with a short blip of, how we want to advertise it with you guys and figure out what's the best thing to say and how to say it, and communicate with, and go from there. So when you guys have some stuff available, then we're ready to go. We're not, well, what are we gonna say? Then you wait, so we need to get this out there, because people are not gonna come next week.
We got some things that are happening, but I'll address them when we get to
That's
it.
fine, that'd be great.
I'm
Thanks.
sorry.
We got some things that are happening, but I'll address them when we get to our
Okay.
part of the agenda.
So, just wanna stay ahead of that right there, because I think that's gonna be something that's gonna be huge. You know, we've been talking about it for a long time, and so I'm excited about what we can do and really get the, you know, word out there and really help all of us. So get as many people up here as we can. I'm coming up the 5th, part of the day, just to take some pictures and bring the boss and the boss's boss with me. That would be the wife and the dog.
Yep.
So we didn't come last year because having a knee replaced. So, I'm looking forward, we came in October. But we're excited about coming up and just spending that with you guys. But we're gonna take some pictures and just start putting some stuff out on social media as soon as we can. All right, I've been trying number 6 there. You know, we do a great job in terms of getting people up here who have a lot of influence and outside anywhere. There's just a lot of things. I have a gentleman that, he's very well known in the travel, not just golf business, but he used to write for Golf Week, magazine, some other major golf magazine. But he travels all over the world, and he does this for a living, and I've gotten to know him the last couple of years down at the PGA show. I tell you, I'll go down there and all I do is talk to media people about how they can help us. And so he's been another person that introduced us last year, and we tried to get him up here. Again, it's on their time schedule, and there's no costs involved. I mean, they come up on their dime. You know, some people I might have to pay a little bit too, and I just do that out of my pocket. But so we would like to get him up here sometime, maybe in August. I got to talk to him about time wise, but I'm gonna probably get him up here in North Georgia and let him come up and see. But I mean, he got a huge following.
He's never been up here before.
No.
So you're gonna do the same thing?
Same thing, yeah,
So,
well, yeah, a couple of nights and
yeah.
golf and,
No.
you know, dinner and let him see, but we'll continue to push real estate.
Yeah.
Okay, we wanna make sure.
Yeah.
That's always promoted, with everything that we do now, so.
Where's he from?
He lives in South Florida,
Cool.
so, and again, it's usually I'll have to wait on them. Hey, we're going to Indiana. I can go right to Georgia. I'll stop off for a few days. So, it's nice. I mean, they get to go all these places like you, and you know, he used a lot of people pay to come. But he's excited about coming. So we hope it all works out, but I'll have more information for you probably long before the meeting next month. So I'm excited about him coming, and then we're working on some other people for this fall. And here's our Golf One Media. As this is the top, as I tell you, you don't need to see the whole if you want to, so you can see it's from just yesterday, just came out. And so this goes out to I think about 55,000 every week. Now we don't have this every week, so usually it's twice a month, and then sometimes he put a story in his newsletter. He's very well connected, done a lot of stuff in the golf area, and so it's good to have him. But here you go. Here's just a connection. Not charging me a dime to do this. He just puts it in. I give him some information, some stuff, so he can benefit from that. So that's it. Other than we try to, which I don't need to tell everybody all the time, but we try to update our database. People drop off things, you know, want to be added. So I've been working with a couple of groups that have been trying to get a really good new database for travelers, golfers, executives that are in the travel business, the golf business, that we can get some new people on our database. So I think I'm just about to finalize a pretty nice update on our database. I mean, we have quite a few, but this will really put us up into a lot of places. The nice thing about stuff like that, it's our database, we own it. We have it in a bank, called a bank up in Canada. Just got a really good deal in Canada. And so it's all set up. It's very simple. We can send out an email within a few minutes or a couple of hours if we need to. That's just really nice. And we just put it together and if we send something out for Sky Valley, it will say Sky Valley on it. From Sky Valley, whatever your subject line is, and then we can send it out. So anyway, so that's just a little thing that I try to work on. Certainly does cost money to do that. So anyway, that's it for me.
Any questions, Al? Thank you, very good report. Okay, the second item, Sky Valley Marketing and Real Estate Committee, recommendation for posting real estate ads on our website. We had a meeting, the chair of that meeting was Jack, and we had Paul, and I was involved. And just as a recap, we said, what we're looking at, we had the last meeting, what do we do? We want this reciprocal, not agreement, something where, in this case here, where promoting real estate, in, let's say, Alabama, how can we do it back and forth? And how do we promote it here locally on the website? And that, it's something be simple, we get something out of control, or we have so many ads, so we have a separate site showing real estate ads, and so the committee felt the recommendation was, Jack, that we essentially have it, we post it on the Sky Valley website, and this is what it would be. A simple deal would be, topping would be something that is real estate professionals. And essentially, in terms of and that would be it, in terms of what would the ad be? The ad would be really something underneath it, heading for criteria listed, the realtor would provide identifying information, market served, and this information would be the size of a business card. That's it. The Sky Valley would use the criteria to determine which realtors to be listed on the website. Essentially, there would be no, as long as there's no, this realtor couldn't be on it, anyone could be on it. The criteria is that the size of the information would be the size of a business card, and they could put everything on it. Jackie might say a little bit on it. We were looking at that markets they serve. They could do anything, anything that would go on that. A lot of different creative business cards. Jackie,
Well, yeah, we wanted to make it open, and we
Yeah.
wanted to make it so everyone would have an opportunity to participate on the website. I think the area served, though, I mean, if we've got a realtor from Asheville, just using Asheville as an example, that's not doing any work here and not really involved in any way and not showing any properties here. I mean, so one of the questions that, we were gonna have to ask, of course, is the area served. Are you actually serving Sky Valley? And in terms of your marketing and in terms of your business, do you have a relationship with a Sky Valley realty firm? Those kind of questions, just to kind of, otherwise, as Gordon pointed out, we could be inundated with people, everybody who just said, well, if there's an opportunity, it's free, I'm gonna go ahead and have them put my name down. So we're gonna have to kind of test the waters from my perspective, see how it goes, and the board and or the committee could come back and revisit the issue if we see it start to get out of hand, or if there are additional issues that we need to address. That would be my recommendation, Mr. Chair.
So they could actually submit a business card, and if they submit the link, it could just go straight to their.
Correct.
So I think that would be
yes,
fairly easy.
Easy enough, yeah.
yes.
And no problem sharing with, on that same category, showing, I don't mind showing a link to all of the listings, our local real estate firm too, or real estate group, that you have an access to their listings, do you not? You refer to local listings?
I do not.
You don't?
It's on the POA, but we talked about that and we thought it was redundant to put it again.
Okay, so you already have it. Okay,
Well, we don't. The
Yeah.
POA has it on their website.
okay.
But if we could ask if they click that link, does it go directly to their listings in Sky Valley? Which was what we would probably like, or will it just go to their listings? Cause I think that's probably gonna be what.
Yeah, I think you're right,
I
yeah.
think the key is that whatever they do, they can do with their link. All we're gonna do is post it, and they can do a lot of things. We're not gonna get involved in individual listings. We don't wanna keep that, we talked about that initially, and that would be just morass of problems.
Yeah.
And so, instead to say, anything they could go on, they said they can be creative on their card, right? They can put whatever they want on the card, right? But I think the.
Or they could create a card for that listing.
Yes, yes.
I think that what I'll ask for, if I just send out to a few local, or just put it out there, I guess, I don't wanna send to specifics. But if they submit their business card, like I said, and they provide whatever link they want to where it goes. Is it gonna go to that agency, or is it gonna go specifically to their listings, or, but I'll just ask for a card and a link.
Good.
Comments on that at all? I think in Joey and Lisa Johnson, we talked about simply what they had.
Where
Well, Joey and Lisa Johnson, essential ad. So where are we gonna put this in terms of, you're talking, where would you have it in terms of the visitor website? we asked, where would we go?
Yeah,
Yeah, and she's got a suggestion.
okay, great.
Jason doesn't want it on the city side, so what we'd be looking at is here. We talked about, I think it was under here, and putting real estate professionals down here. Now, we could make a whole new tab, I'm sure, I mean, I just have to ask Mike. But with the maps and other media, we were just thinking about Sky Valley,
You
but
want to separate?
I think it'd be nice to have a separate tab, Sarah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
that's just my thought.
Yeah.
Then somebody looks at it, if I'm interested in real estate, and there we go.
Yeah, I agree.
all right,
Yeah, because I mean, it's a big thing. We want, you know, real estate up here, at least I know the mayor does. So, yeah, I think that, I don't think it'd be hard to do and whatever, and well, we could continue, or not continue, but to start promoting it a little more. Where I'm sure it could be Visit Sky Valley GA/real estate or whatever, he could do that. It makes it real simple to go right to that page instead of going through Visit Sky Valley.
Okay.
So we just add another tab.
Yeah, and yeah, so, yeah, add another tab, but whoever's marketing, like what we do, we just send it out, certainly, and then they can, hey, if you're interested in the real estate in Sky Valley, here you go, boom. Instead of saying, visit skyvalleyga.com and then try to find it yourself, so. Yeah, it's just something that's quicker, and that's when you lose people, and we don't wanna lose people.
Okay.
Yeah.
well, I think once he creates that, if I click on it, I can just copy that link at the
Perfect.
top and then send it out. If you're interested, send me the information.
That's perfect, yeah, perfect.
So in this case, Sharon will be the contact person if something goes on, whatever. Yeah, so all that. Dump it on there.
And Sharon, if you run into any, you know, if it starts to get complicated, or you see you get requests that you have doubts about, then maybe bring it back to the board and the committee, and we can work on it further,
All right.
if that would be acceptable, Mr. Chair.
Paul, you have any comments on that since you're part of the meeting? Paul?
You muted.
Unmuted, okay now. Yeah, just
Yeah.
keep, I would just say, keep it simple. And, you know,
That's what
a tab makes sense.
Good. I think that was,
one thing I know we talked about, and I forgot to bring up, which I did write it down, but whatever. This is where we want to do the same thing for you guys as well. We want to bring like the people from where Joey and Lisa, you know, but we want to invite them to come up and stay. But they pay for it, okay, but if we had, you know, and we have all that information ready to go, and we, you know, that we can give to them, hey, you know, Sky Valley looks cool. Well, here you go, here's some information that you can go up there and stay and play and spend the night, and it's paid for. They pay you guys, okay? So we can work all that out and whatever. So we can work that in as well. Or we're gonna get some real estate people up here. Certainly they gotta come, but hey, we got this package all ready for you. Come on up for a couple days, look around.
So
So
actually, a timeshare is real estate too. You know, it's actually property.
and that's a great,
So,
great connection.
I was, my note was here was, we want to be under that tab.
Sure.
And, you know, because
Sure.
we have a lot of people come up here and buy the timeshare, and they're here for their weeks, and all of a sudden they say, gosh, I'm gonna retire, I'm just gonna live by here. He's probably up there.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of that, we've had a lot.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So just a little extra
First
that.
one on it.
Pardon me?
Hope you guys are the first one on
I have to
it.
tell you what, I'm getting close. I got 12 weeks of timeshare, so it's about time to buy a place, so.
If you're up here,
so Doug,
order of the year.
Joey and Lisa, you know, in terms of their promotion piece, this would fit in, you see?
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, Joey's pretty much, Doug, whatever you want, we'll
Yeah.
do, you know. I think he's saying that, but based on what you just saw, because when they were here, I mean, there's not many magazine people are gonna say, okay, yeah, hey, we wanna have a connection,
Yeah.
no money, we'll do all this for you. So they are very willing to work with whatever. Why? Is because one of the reasons is we bring media people up here. They fall in love with the place, so they want to help. So he's open to suggestions. And as I said earlier, you know, we're gonna continue to do stuff all year, you know. So what I mean is in terms of promotional type stuff to enjoy, so. But yeah, it's just building relationships like that, you know, how it helps and whatever, that's where I'm hoping, you know, some of these guys that I'm just, you know, start bringing groups up on board, you know, that they can see what we can do. Stay, buy a lot, build a house, buy a house, whatever, so.
Okay, any other comments? Let's go on to the next item. That would be Forward Ribbon Marketing Board meeting report and Sharon Camp, and she's got some interesting items in A1 report. So Sharon, maybe give whatever we want to start off.
I'm looking, I thought I had it pulled up. No. The main topic of the marketing meeting was becoming Rabun County capital of Georgia.
Waterfall.
Waterfall
Yeah,
capital.
right.
Where it went. Okay, let me get it where Paul can see it, if I can. There's lots of buttons involved in this, just so y'all know. Okay, so this was in the Clayton Tribune, and this is Megan's article that went over how Rabun County is now officially named the waterfall capital of Georgia. They had a great picture, it was very nice. And then on down, talking about how it happened, and at this time, at the meeting, they had Victor Anderson, our state representative, and Andrew Harris of Lake Burton Civic Association there at the meeting. And everybody just kind of was congratulating them, thank you for doing this, and it says right here, I thought was important, Jim. Harris said the recognition of green tourism and the idea of bringing tourists our way is great for our area and beautiful mountains and the natural environment. So this was in our paper. I put it on our website and then shared it with our Facebook page and both of our websites, the city and the visit site. Okay. So then, after we did that, I was gonna show you all the comparison report.
This is really.
Can you see, Paul, the placer report, or is it gone? You can?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I did, and I sent this to Gordon, is I ran a report from July 1st through July 7th of 2003 and 2004, so that we could see the attendance of basically our 4th of July situations. So I ran it from the Sky Valley Country Club, which is all of it, not just the clubhouse, because we also have a tab for that. But looking here, if you can see, the 2023 is over here, and we had, oh, let me see if I make it
That's
bigger.
why I do that.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and I did print some of these if you want to share those, Gordon. Okay, so you can see 2023, we had more visitors, and I'm not sure what I wouldn't have known that by the crowds, because it was huge last year too. But maybe with the rain, it, you know, was a bad situation for sending people out, but we had 3,000, almost 4,000 visits in 23, and almost 3,000 visits in 24. So our attendance was down, but I'm hoping that was partly because of the weather. Said the average person stayed about an hour and a half both times. Let's see. Going down here to look at it, they're showing the specific dates of that the date span. And you can see the first year was, our date was July 3rd. The next year, our date was July 5th. So obviously we were
You wonder what.
down, but we still had people in our area, you know, that did register on the system. So people who came on the first year, if you look the income difference, it's surprising that they can break that down. But the 2023 was around 90,000 average income, and then last year was a little lower with about 64,000. Our population, mostly whites, average age varied, if you look at that from last year. And I think a huge thing on this might be who has their location services on their phone. Younger people are more likely to have that on, where older people might not.
The lower
Yeah.
annual income.
Yeah, definitely too, you can think about that.
Is, are those all visitors, including the residents, or
It's just visitors,
just visitors?
yeah.
Okay.
So people who don't live here or stay here longer than 3 months, because if you stay 3 months, you're considered a resident because your phone is rested at one place for
Okay.
3 months.
And, from their cell phone number, how do they estimate the income?
I don't know. I don't know all the, but I'm guessing it's things, you know, I don't know how they get their income. I was thinking the weight and the age and everything might be with your phone information, but I don't know about the income. But they use outside sources.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, they definitely.
They're watching us right now. Yeah,
I
listening
think
to
they
us.
say Alexa's got it covered, so.
I mean.
Okay, so there,
Gives them the geographical area that they come from, and maybe averages from that area. But
maybe,
that's-
I really don't know. Jamal asked, I'll ask
Okay.
her, because we have another training at the end of, or mid-July.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the breakdown there of the money. You can see on this chart. There's the education level, which is interesting.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Same question applies.
Yeah,
Get that.
age of visitors, so this would be people who may not have been here long enough as second home residents to register as a resident. What's so we did have some Hispanics, some blacks, and some American Indians. Just amazing to me, the household size is there, and then, you know, that's good, I don't know if census information probably is not tied to your cell number though, so I really don't know, I'll ask, that's interesting.
Could be the area code.
Oh, could be, good. So this is showing us where, let me say it right, the market landscape, so where they're spending money and heading around near us. So this kind of shows information about that. If you look right here, hang on, sorry. This part, I think it's silly, so I'm not gonna show you. But prior to coming here, it shows where the people were. And then when they leave, it shows where the people went, majority. So home and home is definitely people who are full-time residents or have been here long enough, and this is the next year. So it's good information, but yeah, you question some of it, how could they possibly have gotten it? So hourly visits, this
Some
is
of it's
interesting,
probably related to other data, and some of it's just
I'm sure.
extracted
Yeah.
somehow.
But if you look at this during the parade and hot dog time, it was pretty high. And then, of course, down here at fireworks time, obviously, the two most popular times. Favorite places that people go around here. So this might tell us where we want to put some placement around. Piggly Wiggly, not anymore. And that's from the other year,
Ingles is number one.
yeah. Now the big song.
But they got timeshares now, is that because they're driving by or what?
No, some of them may be coming from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're coming from there. We've upgraded our website.
Yeah.
Considerably.
Definitely, yeah.
We're getting a lot more visits and,
And we link to your
we link,
visit.
we link to you.
Yeah, that's probably where some of them comes from too.
any links that we can set up like that? I got them to benefit somebody.
Y'all are on ours as well, yeah. Okay, so I think that's pretty interesting information, it's a lot of information, and I need to find out some of those things that you were asking about. But still, just to know how many people are here, where they're coming from, to me, that's definitely good information for us to have.
The point is, committee, you see this, the number of visits down. Of course, the first thing I looked at, the number of visits were down. That's why, or interesting point. There's so much here. How can we use it? And what way can we use it in terms of marketing at this point? But the number of down is just concerning. Why would it be down? I want it to be up, right?
Yeah, right.
But like you said, it could have something to do with the weather.
The weather, I think, yes.
I know we had 4 hot dogs and all available this past year, we did the year before, so maybe people ate a lot more. Or they were.
And we're adding lots of different kid activities that we have.
Yes.
So that's gonna
a
be-
big difference. Bring the kids in, you bring the adults in.
Yes.
And, you know, this year may not be to tell all of that, but once people start hearing that we're doing more for the kids, hopefully it'll build and each year get bigger and bigger.
Middle of next year.
So how can we use it at this point, committee, digest it, or a lot of information here?
Yeah.
How do we react? Doug, you see it, you're.
No, I think it's great information. I think it's one of those digest type stuff and, certainly we need everybody's head thinking about this
Okay,
and how we can use it, do it and
right,
things like that. So, and it's a good possibility that I could reach out to a couple of people and see maybe what they do. I think their
yes,
information like
yes,
this, not
yes.
necessarily this company, but that information.
Very good, thank you. Yeah. a
Can you
lot
see
there.
that, Paul, or do I need to share it again?
Okay, comments on it? We'll go on to the next, thank you. Yeah, we'll talk about this at our next meeting again. So good. Think about it, have it along. All right, the next item, thank you, Commissioner, very well. The next item is the TOA, we are going into.
I only printed a few of those because it was so many pages, but those are the results.
Okay, thanks.
But I have them up here.
This was the next item where, here we go. You want to look at it?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah, this would be POA survey, why people buy in Scott Valley. We worked on this for something. And Sharon, bring us up to date, what we're doing or what you did do in terms of why people buy.
Survey.
Show us what you did.
Well, the survey went out and now we've had 156 people respond. So I sent it out again and I don't know if people double responded or whatever, but we definitely have more information than we would have had a couple of weeks ago. These are I'm gonna just say that I can go through each question.
Yeah,
but
let's
this is
go
what I
through it.
wrote.
Great.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been here? Longer than 10 years was the majority.
Okay.
What type of ownership do you have? And single family home was obviously at the top, that was 90%. Major reasons you came here.
Yeah.
Second home, not for rental, so that's our
Right.
biggest area.
Second, okay.
Times change.
I'm not saying that. You look 60 by my standards.
You're a kind guy.
You're welcome.
Okay. Physical amenities is not as important as we thought. To me, you know, those facilities that are here, it was not one of the main reasons people came here, obviously. Natural amenities, look at that, took it.
Yeah.
So people are coming here because they love the way it looks, the weather, hiking, the fishing, anything in this area.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Referrals from family and friends, not so much.
So what was the biggest one? Let me see.
One.
Like me?
So 50% there, one family.
Yeah.
Okay, Okay, low crime,
Low crime was important, so
that's a
it's
five.
not one family, that's a rating of 1 to 5.
That, wow, low crime, Jim, as you were talking about, we hear that.
Okay, police services.
Yes,
People thought that was important.
Suspected this.
Upkeep of the grounds, that was important, how the place looks.
Yes.
And I'm sure that city as well as golf course.
Medical events.
This one wasn't so important, obviously, because it's somewhat is the highest one.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Have their own doctors, yeah.
This one wasn't important either, people come here no matter what, because,
That's great,
52 people said didn't matter either way.
yeah,
Okay, the distance from your primary home wasn't important either.
Okay.
This was the highest one, and it's 30%.
okay.
Friendly people, that was important to folks.
What we doing?
Cool place to golf in the summer. Obviously, the non-golfers, about 47 of them have been here, 55 people.
Okay. We're on our target there.
Okay, so to buy here, it looks like this was not as important, the country club and all the extra things they do, the literary speakers. But I'm thinking this is probably because younger people haven't really jumped in on those things yet.
Okay.
Okay, it was important for people to have a place for their children and grandchildren to visit. And nobody really cared about the schools.
Makes sense.
Let's look up here, 7 people,
school-age kids.
well, 7 people said it was important.
Yeah, wow, well, okay.
Getting out of the city after COVID, not so important.
Wow.
Proximity to churches,
Even.
small towns around us. Internet and TV. Ability to work from home, nobody's working. How many people are working though? 15. So that's probably the same people that came from COVID. Active Garden Club, not important to most of the people. Retirement, is that why you moved here? And 54 people said, yeah, out of 140 or 156. Country Club, 44 people said it is important, where 45 people said they're probably not members. Okay, not so important to.
I could have guessed that one.
Yeah, definitely agree. Part-time resident, where do you come from? And these were Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Louisiana, and Alabama.
Okay, makes sense.
That's interesting.
And that's it.
Well,
Can you're sending that to us, Sheriff? Can you send that surely to us?
so what do you think of this? Is it somewhat, it seems to be on the right direction, would you say, Doug, in terms of?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I love how we've already come the last few years in terms of the information we're getting, companies at least coming in and saying, hey, y'all need this, so I think it's great. It's just, again, you're always a few months down the road in terms of how you figure things out, so the key is to try to figure things out. Having information is great. How do you use it? So,
Well, I think how you use it is you take the things that are they're most important to people and find a way to advertise where you're gonna reach those folks. And there's stuff on there that nobody says was important in making their decision, but it's still an important part of the package. There's a diversity of things to do.
Things to
You
do.
don't just come up here to retire, you come up here
To have
to have
activities.
fun,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
and that's where the other stuff comes in.
Right.
I think it's a marketing piece you could put together with the top 3, 4 things that people might be interested, not schools, not whatever, but like to come to Sky Valley and this, here's the reason why. And you just put the percentage, put how many people we've got. That would be very valuable.
I can just say from just what we've seen at the club, in the last 2 years, our new members coming in, they're more heavily involved in golf and not hardly at all involved in the social aspect of it. So like, for instance, our annual meeting, we send out invitations to all of our new members, so basically close to 26 that we signed since last year, and 3 responded. That 3 responded, I think only 2 showed up to the meeting itself. But of the people that have joined, almost 70% of them all have bought a golf membership. So that we're seeing that they're buying to play golf, but they're not buying to just join the club and do croquet or garden club or anything like that. Interesting.
I'll share that with all of you.
Yeah. So in terms of use this again, how we use it, when would we send this out again? Pull up here, do one, a list of newer ones, or I guess as we go along, how will we do this? After a year, send it out for the newer, can you get a list of possibly the newer people are buying and send this out again, or? Let's
I
suggest-
have a list of this one.
Okay, you have, okay. And a year
I
from
mean, I
now,
have from the past 3 years since I've been here.
okay.
So
And see if there's any change with the newer people coming in.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I think that,
That's what Brian was saying. Is there a little change with the newer, younger people coming in? I sense there is. Younger people moving to everybody. So it'd be interesting. See that.
and we need to understand sample sizes too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get 30 people, that tells you something. If you get 4 or 5,
You know,
you can, maybe be misled.
How much new construction do we have going on now? Does anybody know?
10 homes.
10 homes? Do we know what's an average on the year if you're going up
That's
years?
That's more than usual.
I understand, yeah, I know it's
For
30
years, we had
nothing.
over abundance of places for sale. And I remember 10 years after I got here, some of those homes that I looked at were still for sale, and then COVID hit, and now everything's been bought. Bills for, about what you would have to pay for something existing. So
That's just,
the economics have changed a lot.
that's good if we can show that, hey, it's increasing every year, then I was gonna say, well, why?
we might ask, and one of the questions is, did you
No.
build or did you buy?
That'd be one.
Okay.
Good question.
Pre-COVID, you might have to pay $600,000 for a new house, but you could have paid $300,000 for an existing home.
Sure.
Is Merrill actively marketing Sky Mountain?
Not yet.
He's got it on his website, but it doesn't really have any information. He's got a landing page for Sky Valley. But it doesn't say anything about like developments or real estate, it's like an area.
We should look a little more what on July 16th, I guess we'll have an update on it.
He's going to
Jack,
speak.
they're gonna, I guess, there's gonna be a presentation, I guess.
Yeah.
A POA meeting.
Holly's gonna be, Holly's state of the city, but the key items are gonna be, like the sewer and Merrill's development.
Well, Merrill's gonna be there is the plan,
Yeah, right.
so there will be some talk of it.
So,
That's to be at the commission meeting.
yeah. That's
POA.
On the 16th,
Uh-huh.
Right.
what time?
10 o'clock.
City Hall.
It's in the afternoon. It's afternoon.
3, yeah.
3 o'clock.
Is it City Hall?
No, it's here.
Club plus?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll send out an email. Is everybody on our email? Jack,
3 o'clock, actually.
No,
I'm gonna sign you up.
please. Please.
Good, that's interesting. Well, thank you, that was super information we're getting. We're getting a lot of information, aren't we? As marketing, maybe how can we use it, so forth. All right, next item. Timeshare, Sky Valley update, in this case, in Altown here, and if you're gonna
Yeah.
give us an update, and
Actually, I think Daniela touched on the improvements that we've made up there recently, such as the amenities in the gym facility and that area. We really kind of turned that up quite a notch. We put in 3 new treadmills, new stationary bike, new rowing machine, redid the floors, repainted it. It's much more attractive, situation now, a little bit better. We still have a machine to replace up there or either fix. We had a board meeting yesterday and, those are the kind of things that we were addressing. So I anticipate that we'll be finishing up our improvements there. We looked at some possible opportunities and I even brought it up just a few minutes ago. We have a joint need here and Ryan, I think, had mentioned something to Danielle about it. Everything else is on pickleball courts. We have a need for more pickleball courts with the crates and everything. We've got a couple of tennis courts back there that do not get used. Of the 4 that we have, 2 of them don't get used. So we're looking maybe as a public-private partnership there on converting a couple of those over to pickleball courts. You can do that a lot cheaper than building new ones somewhere. And then, of course, you got a piece of real estate to do it on. So there's a lot involved there. So that's something that we want to pursue. We're working very hard to update our buildings. People are doing different things in different organizations. It's taking a little bit longer than we had hoped. And then I'll be very candid with you, the old timeshare industry is a whole new world now. It's not what it used to be. And we are not, the difficult we've had in putting together a stay and play is that people own a week at a time. And it's a piece of real estate, they own that week. We can't do much with it when they own it unless we know that they're not coming or we have control of it, they've deeded it back or something at that point. So what we have done, and we assigned one of our board members, he is in the midst of taking all the available weeks and back-to-back weeks so that we can offer weekend packages. Friday, Saturday, Sunday type packages, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday type packages, Saturday, Sunday packages. Because we have check-ins on Friday, we have check-ins on Saturday, and we have check-ins on Sunday. And they're for a week. So if you're not careful, I'm fine to do this on this Friday, but I'm not good on this Saturday here or something on check-ins. So we're working with a schedule now to consolidate those open dates. And as we find out when Ryan wants to do his stay and plays at the golf course, those kind of things, we can give him available dates and maybe he can plan around that. The complication has always been that we got somebody that's gonna be here and everybody wants to be on the hill. Everybody wants to be on Tile Lane. And they want to overlook the 18th fairway and be right there. So we have other places available. But we're working very hard to make them exciting, amenable, and something that people, where they want to come back. That has been a major target for us. So we're working on that. As I said, rental, we know that rental is the future lifeblood of our units. We know that. Sales of timeshares can be very difficult to this day because people, you pick up the Facebook page and it says, let me help you get rid of your timeshare. And you see these ads all the time. Well, I just want to tell them all to help, but at the same time, I'm doing everything we can to change that way of thinking because there are places where timeshares still are appropriate. And we feel that Sky Valley still has that lure up here. We do have people aging out that bought their units in 79, 73, 75, and they were snow skiing.
Yeah.
We've had climate change, we've had all the different things happen here, and now our busy season is now. Like we are covered up right now, we're booked solid, and we'll be through leaf season. So when people want to play golf, it's when we're booked, so we have some issues there. So we're trying to address them one at a time, but also look at the total picture at the same time. We're excited about being a part of this. I'm very excited about adding those, to our various association Facebook pages, add those links. Also to our website, John will get with you on that. We're promoting hard and heavy, you know, to resell on people that have aged out, that have passed away, or either can't get up and down steps anymore. We do have some issues there.
Sure.
So we have to address each one of those. We try to move them to a walk-in, you know, a straight walk-in type situation. But we are in the mountains, you know.
Yeah.
So, that being said, we're gonna have some steps. So all in all, we're very solid up there. We're hanging in there good now. John is our treasurer, and our monies are strong. We're good. And so feel very good about our timeshare of Sky Valley management.
Have the prices varied much since, you know, I'm just saying over the last 10 years, with you saying that timeshares don't seem to be as popular, but I understand that property value is, so are the prices
Prices now are fantastic
to buy?
to buy.
Oh, yeah.
Our rental rates are set kind of similar to some of the
Yeah.
other things in the area, not near as high in most cases,
Mhm.
but, our resale, we're reselling units for $100, you know?
And then
The
it's just a
stipulation is that you have to
maintenance.
pay the maintenance fee every year.
Yeah, and that's annual, right, just.
Yeah, and it does change from year to year, and unfortunately, in the last 5 years, it's kept going up.
What's the maintenance fee this year, if you don't mind me asking?
It depends, on the size of the unit.
Yeah.
And which building, where it's located, whatever, but they run from about $600 to $1,000 a week. A week, for 1 week.
Well,
And,
you see the cost of,
but you can't rent them.
hotels and so forth, they was skyrocketing, you would think.
If you have a 2-bedroom with a loft on the 18th fairway for $858 a week.
Yeah.
And you can sleep 8 people, that's a pretty good buy.
You
know,
can't
that's a
rent
good-
anything else in the
yeah,
area,
we
you know,
know
it's
that.
at 1,200-1,300.
So our job is to get this across to people and to get to the younger people, particularly the golfers.
Yeah.
We're looking at this major hit here, and gosh, if you got some guys that wanna come up here and play golf the same week every year with the same bunch of guys, and there's eight of them, well, they don't wanna put that many in a unit, but we're trying to make that work. But we know the golfers who, and I will say this for the record, these guys right here at the club have been more than working with us tight to make it a value for our timeshare people, with discounted golf and with a free cocktail. It's amazing what a free cocktail do. So, you know, and it's just, we're working very closely with them, and we've got some future meetings set up with the club to even discuss some more opportunities, so. So all good, we're very excited about Sky Valley, and we have a very positive attitude about timeshares and the future of them here. It's not for every community, but we feel like this particular community, since a lot of it was based on starting with timeshares.
Yeah.
We're relying on that history a little bit, that legend. So hopefully that'll help.
Do we have I know we talked about maybe the end of July or.
I'm thinking more August now, and I hate to keep putting you out another month, but I wanna make sure that we're ready. We're ready.
Yeah,
I think.
we just want to see, not that, we're not waiting on y'all, because it was early on.
We got about 5 or 6 units that we'd love to show you right now, but we'd like to have.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then what we want to do is just get it to where you guys are comfortable in terms of really promoting it, okay, like I was talking about earlier. But then the phone comes to you guys, and it's all up to y'all. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't.
Right.
Just don't. I mean, I have my travel company that I get inquiries all the time for all the trail members, okay? And I send it to them, and they get their information and all the stuff, they add it to their database. But then they tell me, sorry, we can't help, we're booked that week, or can you do it the next week, or that type of stuff. So That's all we wanna do, is get it to where you guys feel comfortable, and sooner is better, certainly, that's for everybody.
Well, one other thing that we have worked on, and we have a new system now where you can go online and pay fees and stuff with credit cards. So hopefully over the next 6 months, we will be able to put rentals and that type thing on an online situation, because people actually do this on Sunday night, sitting there in their den, and that's the way they go and set something up.
Yeah,
They,
right.
right now, it revolves around call us and we'll see what's available. But that will help us, and I'm hoping within the next 6 months to 12, that we have got that really in place. The logistics, again, are an issue of availability, because it changes. We're involved with RCI, and people space banking their time, and these kind of things going on. So somebody space banks their unit, and we got somebody from RCI going in that unit, so it's not really available. So the logistics there are kind of hard to put online, because that's a moving target.
Yeah.
But we're working on it, and we're addressing it, and we know that that's what we need to do. Now, we need to find somebody better than me that knows how to do it, and we can figure it out. But I learned a long time ago, you hire people better than you to do stuff. Okay, thank you.
What sort of metric do you use about, renovating units, and what percentage is renovated, and what the targets are and pace? How do you think about that?
You know, we're pretty simple.
Uh-huh.
We see which one's in the worst shape and which one really needs it, and which is the weeks that are most popular. Like, if we've got a 1-bedroom, a bunch of 1-bedrooms that are available in January, February, we're not gonna sell them much, so they're not a priority
Right.
as such. The 2 bedrooms with a loft, the 2 bedrooms themselves,
Uh-huh.
they take priority on being updated, because they're the most popular and they bring in the most people. And also the weeks that they fall on generally are the most popular weeks. You wouldn't believe it, but we got like a 2-bedroom with a loft that just came available for 4th of July week.
Whoa.
And that, we will turn that very quickly, you know, those kind of things. Wow. So I don't really have a really nice schedule situation, but we do take it somewhat as needed, and we review the buildings and review what need to be. And yesterday, we spent a lot of time, every association came with their wish list. And so we now have we'll have 4 maintenance people up there now. That's been a dartboard too, you know.
Yeah.
And Ryan laughing down there, he knows what that's all about. But
You mean to hire people to
hiring people,
do the work, yeah.
capable people, and hell, I don't know, I think fog and mirror lately, you know. But we're working very hard to get people that, you know, and we confident 2 or 3 people right now, and with a 4th one coming on board, and the jury's still out, so that's gonna make some difference.
Yeah.
So we're able to do more in-house, and the more we can do in-house and not have to contract out, obviously, the savings there are gonna promote more work being done to more units.
And we know that the majority of new people that would be interested are looking for things to be more modernized. But we have our old owners that are there, and you know, they want things the way they always have been. This takes me back to when, you know, things were simpler in 1970, and that's the way I want it to be. So we kind of play balance there, try to keep some of the old and improve the new. And so
We put some new decks on the front of Wingfoot, and I put pickets instead of the old Bavarian wood.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
You heard it from both sides.
Heard it from both sides. I've got, this is 2025, great job, and then I've got this, why in the hell wasn't it back like it was? So, you're not gonna win.
So we're fighting that on a regular
So,
basis.
but anyway, we're working hard.
Get it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you again for the report. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to stay in place. Brian, any updates?
Not really. I mean, we're still, getting some here and there, but kind of right in the middle of our season now, so everyone that's coming is gonna be here. I would be interested if you guys get that list together, Kim, just give it to me, because even through the winter, if I have something posted up in my office, if people call, I can just say, oh yeah, timeshares has a place.
Yeah, winters,
Same weekend.
winters are much easier. We
Just-
had to give you that, we
Yeah.
had to give you that pen, that's on the spreadsheet, so not long, but.
That's fine, so I just need dates. Other than that, we kind of put off our pro search. We interviewed a guy a couple weeks ago and he wasn't the right candidate, so we're gonna just kind of take our time, find the right candidate. So that means that I'll continue to be this stay and play inquiry golf tournament person until we find someone and bring them in.
Steve still there?
Well, yeah, Steve retired and then we brought in Mark, and Mark moved back to Michigan in March, so Steve came back for the season. So he agreed to stay on through October, kind of as a part-time, so we've kind of got the best of both worlds, he's there part-time, he can still play golf, he can still do the things he wants to do, but he's, everyone loves him and he's doing a good job, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna just kind of keep him through the summer for sure, unless we find someone who's outstanding, but right now I don't think that's gonna happen. And then bring in somebody in the winter or early in the spring next year. So that's kind of where we're at, but that means that I'll be handling all the inquiries and tournaments and stuff going forward. Other than that, I don't have much else.
Thank you. Very good. Website update, anything to add on to it, Sharon?
Just updating it as things need to be.
You get a chance to look at it, you get so busy, but look at the website.
I haven't looked at it recently, but I know that Sharon has stuff all the time.
No, it looks good.
Really
It looks
looks good.
good.
Thank you. She keeps it up. It's just everything we wanted. Okay, this visitor center, really anything to add on to it? No.
Seeing more and more people, but no, nothing, was the same things. They come into the restroom, like Creek Falls, and obviously they buy things if they need those.
Yeah, I like the gifts you got, the things you can sell. What's selling right now?
Hats are always selling.
Okay.
Yeah, summertime, that's
Yeah.
a good say that, yeah.
Very, very nice. Sky Valley Independence Day celebration update. Anything to add to that at all?
The guys are working hard, getting mowing and cleaning up. In addition to all of the other, to prepare for the events and different things that are going on, but it's all going according to schedule. Around 30 volunteers, because we offered free shirts. It cost us some money, but at least we have people who are willing to help, and maybe that'll add and grow next year even more.
We got the hot dogs under control.
Hot dogs are under
I think we
control.
increased that this year.
I thought 700 is what she
Yeah,
said.
700, that was,
I thought
what
we
we
had
did last
six.
year.
Increased last year.
Yeah, they did very organized, and they did several meetings, and, they're doing a really good job, very good. Okay. Our 2025 budget, we're in good shape, I have a statement here, and we've got $23,000 into the bank, we're very well, expenses under control, and so we're in good shape. There's no issues that comes up. So, cool. Let me see, new ideas, marching forward for 2020. Yeah, the CR codes, golfers record messages. And I love that idea. Is there anything developed?
I mean, right now, we can't do much because that was all with our updated point of sale system with the app, but we pushed that until the fall. So, right now, there's nothing they can do on our current system.
It's the idea to get instant, but
Yeah, but it will be available once we go
Okay.
through with our point of sale software upgrade. A couple of things that happened recently, we've got a couple of members that joined that are kind of local celebrities. Bobby Grace and his wife, the putter guy in Highlands, he just joined the club last month.
Okay.
And then a guy, his name's Kent Laverne, he's the district director of the US Croquet Association for Georgia. He's also the #2 ranked croquet player in the country. Just is gonna join the club.
What's his last name?
Yeah.
What's his last name?
Auburn, Lovvarn.
Okay.
But,
Living where, Ryan?
well, he's gonna rent up here, so he came up for a wedding, he was in Highlands. and he came down to play golf. He plays golf too. And he came into my office and was just chit chatting with me a little, introduced himself and kind of told me who he was. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it was the day before we had our opening day for croquet. And I was like, hey, if you're not busy tomorrow, come down and I'll take you over there and you can meet some people, because he knew a few of our croquet members. And have a drink and play fun croquet and see how you like it. So he came back, we went down there, he met some people, and then he called me the following week and he's like, hey, I gave him some membership information, didn't think anything of it. And he's like, hey, I think if I can find a place, I might join. And I was like, really? So then he called me last week and he was like, hey, I found a rental from mid-July through October. So I'll be up there in mid-July and I'll send you the application and the check.
Wow, cool. Cool.
So, yeah, then I ran his name at Google, and last year in the national championship of croquet, which I didn't even know that was a thing, he was he took second place, and I guess he's like a big deal in the croquet world.
Where is he? Do you have an idea?
He lives in Carrollton, Georgia,
Okay.
going out of Atlanta,
Yeah.
but he's a steel broker, is his profession, he owned a steel brokering company, and with all the tariffs and stuff going on, he's just kind of like, I don't need to do this anymore.
That's how many pair of white shorts he has.
Probably.
What's this guy's name again?
Kent, it's like Lavvarn. If you run his name in Google, you'll see. But
Okay.
yeah, apparently he's like way better than anybody yet, but okay. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But
He obviously must like,
he likes the area, yeah. He even, like I said, he lives in Carrollton, he's a member of a club down there in the winter, and I think he just wants a place to go when it's hot. He's single
how old is he, bro?
and,
The ladies will be on the left.
he's probably late sixties.
He's gonna be in trouble, it's got
So, but, going back to Bobby Grace, I met with him last year about membership and, we kind of put it off because his wife had a hip surgery, but they joined as golf members and we're gonna meet throughout the winter and come up with some ideas where he can bring some putters in the pro shop and do some more. We had a putter fitting day with him last year that was really successful, so we'll probably do one of those this summer before the winter and maybe do a couple more next year, so all good things.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, item with the roadside skyline, roadside signs. Could you give us an update, Sharon?
I haven't ordered them because I'm kind of disappointed with, Jason wants to try to use the existing frame we have down at 441, 246. And up here on the right, there's one. I believe, well, I had Kevin measure those and he said they're 3 by 6. Well, I thought, well, that's not terrible. We can work with that, but it's actually 6 from the ground. So I mean, I think to me that would be a waste of a lot of sign if we can't have it up higher. So I'm gonna talk to Jerry and make sure he's good with, if we, same area down there and up here.
Yeah.
And then we can always put ours anywhere. If they can just build new frames. And Jason's thinking on that was, we wouldn't have to ask the roadside people about that, because if those signs are already there, so if we just changed out the sign itself, but I just don't think the
How
frames.
big are they? I'm sorry, those signs are smaller?
Those, well, the sign, Kevin measured it, he told me it's 3 by 6, but that is from the ground up.
I
So
got it.
really, I wanted them.
You're looking at, you wanted to. You're looking
And we said 4 by 8.
4 by 8. You want something, yes. We want 4 by 8.
I think so too. Good.
I mean, that's. we
So I'm
want
gonna
something
push
that's
that.
Yes, all right.
Because we want the sign, even if it frames it, that's fine. I just kind of envisioned it being up high as it can possibly. go.
Yes.
So we
8
can get
feet's
more,
pretty good size sign. That's gonna be very catchy.
but if it's 2 feet off the ground, it's even better.
Yes.
That's what I would like to see.
So comments on that at all, or do you agree on that?
Agree with Sharon.
I think Sharon's right.
Yes,
Needs to be up off the ground part,
Yeah.
that gets people's attention.
yes, exactly. That's the whole idea, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Give us up
I
there.
will. I'm gonna get with Jerry, and right, maybe after next
In
week.
the 4 what are the 4 categories we got in hiking in terms of the signage?
We had hiking. Jim didn't really think that was as appropriate as it should be, because we really only have one
Okay.
trail, is that what you said? Hiking, golf, views, and
Waterfalls,
waterfalls.
waterfalls, okay.
I'm open to creating something besides hiking, I just don't know what that would be.
Yeah.
And it could just be another view, but I was trying to, draw people in with different things.
Well, maybe we put the hiking sign up and we'll get some more movement from
Maybe.
the folks that talk to Georgia Mountain Regional Commission, and we'll get our trail system going.
Hopefully.
Can you guys do that?
Okay, thank you for the report.
And by the way, I thought the 4th of July signs look great.
Oh, good, thank you.
Okay, all right, we want the new ideas and marketing programs, we had here, Gail had sent us that, I sent it out, mission info for videos. You have a chance to look at it, and, it's pretty effective. Do you mind just briefly go over it again, if we discuss it a little bit, is this something we wanna look at? Do you have a chance to, there it is,
I thought that was well done.
yes.
Your social security increase will not be automatically added unless you call. It's so important that you guys do that.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is this something, again, Dale Fenwick really liked it, at this time, you got a lot of aerial views, is this something?
We have all that, we just need someone to put it together and have a voiceover, but we have aerial views of the entire area. We have pictures of all the facilities, including timeshares, and hole by hole drone footage of every hole. Like, we could make a big, me personally don't know how to put it all together. It's a great idea, but like with our new website, we'll have, a hole by hole with, you click on hole 1, and then we'll have a flyover of hole 1. So that's already done. Putting something together like that, we have it all, we just need someone to help us. You need a videographer to take the files and put it together and make it into one loop.
Yeah.
But yeah, we already did all that. So that's something we can do.
Something new, Doug, you said your comments on it.
Certainly aerial views have become more popular. I don't know, I looked at it the other day and second time looking at it again. think it's good. It's gotta be, again, everything, you have the best sliced bread and nobody knows about it. Gotta make sure it's marketed in terms of, I mean, I like the idea. You can't have it too long. You lose somebody. Certainly we have a beautiful golf course. As I'm sitting there looking at some of those pictures on, up there, I mean, some of that place was terrible, so I'm not sure I want
Yeah.
to. But that's, yeah, I know, right, like, that, don't show that, no. You know, what's funny, the guy I was talking about that has the Powell look, he was the general manager of this place. Yeah, years ago. So it's a great area, Howie in the Hills.
Howie in the Hills,
Yeah.
that's close to where I am.
Okay, cool. It's really, it's kind of,
I haven't played
it's out in the
that.
middle of nowhere, but
Yeah.
it's a cool place. Anyway, back to whatever, I don't talk too long, but I think it's great. I think you, certainly if Ryan's got that, I think we ought to use it. Now, a lot of people do what Ryan's, you know, here, if I just want to look at hole 3 or 10 or whatever, you know, I can go and look at it. Something like this certainly is gonna cost some money, to put together. I've been trying to think, okay, do we like the pro sitting in there talking? I do and don't, so it's just my preference, so, it's really busy with all the, I'm trying to look at the hole, and there's got all this stuff across it. Not that we gotta have that, but I'm like, dude, I'm trying to look at the hole, and I can't see it. So I liked his, you don't have to have his picture certainly up here the whole time, or whoever we would do some.
Yeah.
If I'm leaning toward it, I would say, yeah, I like it. If we could have something like that, I think would be great. We could have to scope it out and see how much it costs. And we could send them whoever we talk to and say, hey, here you go. This is kind of what we're looking at, but it's gotta be within a good time frame.
I could ask the guy that we got the drone footage from.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if he does, I'm sure he does, he's a photographer and drone guy, but I'm sure he puts all that stuff together. I can send him that link and just say, hey, we wanted to do this.
Yeah, there you go.
With no voiceover right now, and I just put a big presentation together, could you do that? And see how much it costs.
Yeah,
We paid him $2,500 or $4,500 to do that drone footage, but it was an all day thing. And we could use it forever.
Sure.
Yes, and I think we got a pretty good golf course next.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I think
and we did,
we got more
And it's
than
Central Florida, and
Right.
it's nothing but heat.
and we did that.
24/7, 365.
We out here, Doug.
We did ours in
Jackson, Sky Valley, I didn't know what was going on.
September, October, so like some of the trees are changing, I mean, everything looks really good.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that they had on there, if I saw that, I'd be like, "Ew, I don't really wanna play there."
What about that?
Absolutely.
Franklin?
That's two golf
It's
guys.
like a little studio, we can go in and record or something, it's in that Big Lot Center. But it's
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah,
I wonder if they do something like
I'm sure they do for
put it
sure.
all
I
together.
just can't remember, my kids have sports.
I would explore the cost, that's what I.
Let me reach out to him and I'll
Next
see.
meeting.
Yeah.
If we got something together, possibly the next meeting, fantastic. Paul, you had something.
Hey, Ryan, would
common
you
to it.
send me some of those and let me see what I could do? I don't know, I mean, by no means professional, but I just like.
Yeah, they're all MP4s, I mean, it's just a big Google Drive with everything, so.
Could I have
Yeah.
access to them?
So I see you love the idea, this is all.
Yeah, I love that,
Marketing,
yeah,
we
it's
can
our-
put it- Yes.
Well, you're asking here a few months ago, oh, we have this money in marketing, what do you use it for?
Yeah.
So, you know, there you go, that's the type of stuff we gotta continue to
Well,
promote, and then promote it.
Well, that's a promotion, we have visitor website, how we can plug, how we can take that, put it on, you know.
Well, we could put it in Explorer right too, and then it, with the hashtags and it goes
Yes.
out.
Sure, yeah, we could use something
Our
like that in
website, yes.
a lot of ways.
Possibly, timeshare, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff for this to go out, yes,
Yeah.
I think it's just super stuff. Paul, you had something you had commented on.
Yes, I didn't think the video was exceptional, but I did go on their website. And if you could go on their website, I could tell you something about that I thought was interesting.
There you go, just Mission Hill Resort problem. Howie Brother Hills, I can't remember.
I can't see what you've got.
Oh, hang on, I forget about you over there, Paul.
Okay.
All kind of marketing stuff, just. There you go.
Official.
There's your official side.
Okay, in regard to the layout, I went straight to about. And if you'll just scroll a little bit down. It's what we're all about. Now, right there, we have a history. I really like that. And I don't know if it's lacking on any of our websites, but I like the fact that we have a history is right there because it compels people to read, even those who may not be interested in just golf, but may be interested in the area. Could you click on that? Get that out of the way. Now, that history, if we look at that and scroll down a little bit, it talks about the area and it talks about it's a preserved area, early history, and it talks about the people who've been involved in the early history of this golf course. And it gives way back to 1916, and it gives a timeline, like enter the next guy, Nick. Did. Can you click on Nick? Just click. Click on and so you go from 1916 to 1936, and you find out some really interesting things about this area and how it was turned into a golf course, and then and the resort in 23. That kind of narrative is compelling because it tells you something about a sense of place. And I think we've got that with the history of Sky Valley. But I don't know that we've got all the people who've been involved. When we had our casino meeting, our casino event, and afterwards we had all of the presidents' pictures on the weekly of the. I thought that was really interesting to see that we've had I think 5 presidents, but the more you could tell about the history, like Helen's put together a good history in the club, but I think there's a way that if we haven't done it, that we can do something like this that would be compelling for both the sales of property, accommodations, golf, and some of the whole landscape of what Sky Valley's about.
We have the history. It's on our kiosk. I was thinking I had it, but I think it's on that too. So we have the history from it being developed just as a dirt pasture and all the way up to when it became a golf course.
And just good.
Is it embedded in the golf club site?
I don't know what they have. But it's not even embedded on our site. I just realized that the history is only on the kiosk. So I need to get that put on our site, and then I can share that link with Ryan.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just was looking at it, matter of fact, and it's very, very informative.
Yes. Thanks for that comment, very good. So next meeting, we'll be talking more
I'll share
about it.
it
I think
with
it's
you.
something we look at. All right, other business, anything else?
This lady wants.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying I'm gonna share it with y'all too, so if you want it on your
Oh,
website.
absolutely. You know, anything we get our hands on, and because I'm really in favor of putting everything out like weekly, just to constantly
Yeah.
have something that's exciting going on up here times there.
Yes, right. Okay, other business, anything else to add?
No.
Good to go.
Okay, the next meeting, we're projecting for Thursday, July 31st. Do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Sign it out.
Who was first? I'm sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Who was who were my two people?
Okay, who are the two? Jim?
Jim
I,
and Kim.
I made the motion.
Okay.
Very good, thank you. Good meeting. You covered a lot. Sorry it took a little longer than normal, but a lot of good stuff.
Jim?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.